In the courtroom, it's important to be on your best behavior, but these people clearly didn't get the memo. In this video, we'll take a look at what happens when Karens and other troublemakers are called into court. One of the last things you want to do when pleading your case is to insult the judge, but this first video shows the man by the name of Brian Novall who decides to break that rule anyway, and quickly finds out just how big of a mistake he made. The video opens with Judge John Hurley reading off the charges for Novall, and he's clearly not happy to hear how much he's going to owe. Rather than accepting the fines and restraining orders he rightfully deserves for threatening the victim, Novall then retaliates, first by expressing his disbelief about the whole situation. Judge Hurley stands by the ruling, clearly not about to show Novall any sympathy.
Okay. Based on the facts of the case, going after someone with a knife, court finds there is a danger to the victim. Court's going to set count 1 at $10,000. Count 2, court's going to set that bond at $10,000. Court's going to order he has no direct or indirect contact with Jesus Novall. No direct or indirect contact. Must stay 500 feet away from him at all times. I'm going to order that he's not in possession of any guns, weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Court's also going to revoke his bond on 098502 CF10. You're going to be held no bond, sir, until further order of the court. Thank you.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. That's the truth. You're not going anywhere. That's the truth. All right, thanks.
As Brian Novall storms away from the stand, he swears at the judge, and he's quickly escorted back for his misconduct. Being rude in the courtroom is a definite no-no, and Hurley's fast to hold him accountable for it.
All right, Suzanne Wall.
My charge was battery.
Oh, wow, I know, man. But that's the way life is. What did he say? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring him back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring that guy back. Bring him back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, bring that guy back.
You want him back, Joe?
Yeah, I want him back right now.
That wasn't good, but
Judge Hurley asked Novall to repeat what he said, and he openly admits to his insult. In response, the judge claims that he can hold him in contempt of court and that he finds him to be. While the man half-heartedly apologizes for his attitude, it's too late to backtrack as the judge sentences him to 60 days in jail.
So what did you just say when you walked away?
I called you a because you're...
Did you?
The charges I had yesterday.
Okay, hold on a second, sir.
Battery charge.
Sir, this court is inclined to hold you in contempt of court, and I want to know from you, give me a reason why I should not hold you in contempt of court.
I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be, because there's not a reason this should be here.
Okay, sir, I find you in contempt of court for using that type of language with the court you just used, and before I pass sentence on you, I'm going to ask you if you have anything to say before I pass sentence.
I apologize, I was out of line. I'm just upset because this is not what I was charged with yesterday.
Okay,
I
sir.
was charged with a battery.
I accept your apology, and I will sentence you to 60 days in the Broward County Jail. Thank you.
Brian Novall jokes about taking his insult back, which only worsens his case as the judge holds him in contempt of court yet again, and this time he adds another 60 days, bringing his time in jail to a total of 120 days. It would have probably been better if Novall just kept his mouth shut. Silence is the best defense.
Can I take the back in?
All right, sir, hold it. Come on back. Come on back, sir. Sir, Sir, I'm inclined to hold you in contempt of court again. Would you like to tell me why I should not hold you in contempt of court for the last thing you just said?
I asked if you're allowed to do that for me.
All right. I find you in contempt of court for the second time you said that. Do you have anything else you'd like to say in mitigation of the second sentence I'm about to hand down?
I was just asking my attorney if he can do that.
All right, sir, you have nothing. I'm going to send you to another 60 days to run consecutive to the prior 60 days. So now you're up to 120 days in the Broward County Jail. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Nah.
All right, sir, thank you very much. You're done.
I didn't even know you can do that.
All right, thank you.
the judge.
All right, I think you should move along. So it's going to be 60 plus 60, okay, to run consecutive. Thank you.
After Brian Novall spent 4 days in jail, Judge Hurley actually let Novall out of jail, believing that he learned his lesson from his court appearance. Let's hope he did. Swearing at your judge isn't exactly a good idea, but laughing isn't wise either. In this next clip, we see the case of Amanda Kosal, who was convicted for drunk driving, which resulted in a fatal crash with a man named Jerome Zerker, severely injuring his fiancée too, and leaving his family devastated. During the trial proceedings, her mother was heard snickering to herself by the judge and asked to leave. Not only that, she was given jail time for her attitude, with the judge reminding everyone in court the importance of their behavior.
You can go too. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile when somebody has lost a family member, this is a court of law. You cannot come down to the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice and act any way you want to act. Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct criminal contempt. Anybody else want to go? Try it.
At least this Karen decided to leave with some dignity. We can't say that about the next one. Going through divorce can be tough, but this Karen took it a little too badly. Starting off by arguing with the judge, things quickly escalate when she literally tries leaping across the desk to attack the judge in front of her and is tackled by security.
Miss Hardwick,
No.
you will be held in contempt of this court if you become
I don't
disruptive.
care. I haven't done anything to this court. I haven't done anything to
Okay.
them.
She'll be arrested for contempt days for contempt of court. You go now.
It's always good to shoot your shot, but the courtroom might not be the best place for it, even when proceedings are taking place online. In the next video, we see a man who starts flirting with the judge convicting him, and she accepts the compliment, even looking pretty happy to receive it.
Judge, you're so gorgeous, Miss Judge. I just have to tell you, you're gorgeous.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Sometimes, though, it's the judges who can't hold back on what they really want to say. This judge isn't about to take it easy on the woman in this last video. Convicted of a brutal murder, the judge details her awful attack with intensity, saying that she gutted the victim like a fish, and emphasizes just how many times she stabbed him, too. Clearly horrified by her, he doesn't hold back on showing his emotions.
You gutted him like a fish in that apartment, too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead.
Given life in prison without parole, the judge doubles down on the sentence by telling the convicted woman straight that he agrees with the victim's family and hopes she dies in prison. Not only that, but he claims that if it were a death penalty state, she'd be going to the chair.
I understand you have to do what you have to do.
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
But even with that last comment, to this day, Judge McBain has occasionally made headlines and stirred controversy, but he's kept his job. According to the elections website in Jackson County, where McBain presides, he won a fourth 6-year term on the bench in 2020 in at least the third election in which he ran unopposed. The woman in this next clip is at odds with the judge over showing up to court when she wasn't even served. The judge, understandably, is irritated because there's no reason for her to be there besides trying to get some kind of revenge. In addition, the judge even slaps her with her own fine to pay instead.
On what basis? There is no case before me, ma'am, other than the fact that you filed this frivolous motion taking up this court's time for no good reason other than your own personal vendetta against this man for whatever reason you may have, and I really don't care because it does not involve me or my court. However, had I issued a PPO, you would have a basis to be before me. I did not issue a PPO. He did not pursue his right to a hearing on the PPO. You were never served, and here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am. Your relief is denied, and in addition to that, I am sanctioning you with costs of $500 forthwith to the county clerk's office.
In response, this Karen claims she knew it was fixed, but the judge isn't having any of that.
I knew it was fixed.
I beg your pardon?
I knew it was fixed.
Miss Stevens, I highly suggest that you just exit my courtroom and go pay the sanctions before I find you in contempt.
The lady went on to pay her fine and hopefully didn't waste anyone else's time. In this last video, we see a woman who couldn't handle the reality of being served with her sentence, convicted in a murder-for-hire plot targeted towards her ex-husband, who thankfully survived despite being shot. She looks around the courtroom in disbelief as she's given her guilty verdict. It seems like she can't accept the fact that she'll be going to prison.
We're in 8, we're in 1, dated 11/13/17. Signed, foreperson. Same title, same cause. Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill in violation of Penal Code Section 664/187, paren A, paren 1, as charged on count 2. We further find true the allegation that Diana Jean Lovejoy acted willfully, deliberately, and with premeditation within the meaning of Penal Code Section 189.
In the end, it seems like it's all too much for her to take, as she literally collapses in court. She's so shocked that her body seems to shut down entirely, while security try to help her to her feet again, and people look on in shock.
Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Weldon K. McDavid, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
All right, we're going to need to take a break. And if we could have, the jury go back into the room.
The woman was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison for her conviction of conspiracy to commit murder. The fainting didn't rule that out. Talking back to the judge is already bad enough, but what happens if you push it one step further and give them the middle finger? Penelope Soto decided to try her luck and find out. She ends up flipping the judge off and walking away, swearing at him in the process. The judge isn't having it, and he invites her back just so he can give her 30 days in county jail.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios. Come back again. Come back again. Bring him back again.
What's up?
I believe I heard you saying to...
Yes, I did. I'm not going to the...
I believe you... Did you say...
Actually, I
Did you say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you did say that?
I'm not
I find you in direct criminal contempt. 30 days in the county jail.
Understandably, this clip went pretty viral. The teen became famous for her behavior in court. Luckily, it seems that following this incident, the teen learned her lesson and apologized to the judge properly for her conduct in court.
And I apologize not only to the court and you, but to my family.
Penelope went on to complete the Miami-Dade drug court program and had all charges dropped against her. In this third video, we see an inmate who also doesn't know when to stop. The clip opens with the judge explaining that the man is being held accountable for deliberately hawking up saliva, presumably on another person. He denies it, even though at the start of the video, we can hear what sounds like him preparing to do just that.
All the evidence shows that you deliberately.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know.
The words were that you deliberately were hawking up saliva.
Bullshit. I didn't hawk up no saliva, okay? That's bullshit, and you're gonna believe those lies. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't hawk up no saliva. You gonna believe a lie because they wearing uniform.
Things get more intense as the inmate turns much more confrontational with the judge, swearing at her and saying that if she raises her voice with him, he'll do the same with her. The insults just keep on coming, and not just against the judge, but against the other people in the room.
Look at me.
It's like eating. You ain't gotta scream at me. You gonna raise your voice at me?
Oh my God.
You raise your voice to me, I raise my voice to you. You just in a row.
Judge, I appreciate Mr. Gaines making my point for me.
You punk.
Very well received.
Maggot mother.
And I don't think I have to take insults from.
I know. You. You's a.
He's a tough guy now.
You's a.
But I think.
You's a. And you'll be a after I get sentenced, punk.
I think Mr. Gaines is forfeited to me.
I'm ready to go. I was ready to go. You punk.
When he doesn't stop swearing at everyone and calling them maggots, the judge orders him to be taken out of the court while he continues hurling insults until the end.
I'm talking. Take out of the courtroom.
He's a maggot.
Yeah, you're a tough guy.
He's a maggot, punk. You should have died when you was a baby.
Yeah.
Maggot.
Anytime, Mr. Gaines.
Shut up, punk. He's a maggot. Should have died when you was a baby, stillborn.
So after a few minutes, Gaines was escorted from the courtroom and was later sentenced by Pilshaw via a televised hearing. Gaines, who was also HIV positive, was convicted of battery for spitting in the faces of 2 sheriff's deputies while in the Sedgwick County Jail. We're used to seeing Karens being the defendants in these situations, but what happens when a Karen is the judge herself? In this case, Tracy Hunter, a former judge who was convicted in 2014 of unlawful interest in a public contract, was quite literally dragged out of the courtroom when chaos erupted, looking pretty bewildered in the process. Hunter ended up spending 75 days in jail and was released in October 2019. Hunter, who's a pastor, completed a court-authorized work detail program ministering to her fellow inmates. She also received 3 days of credit for every day served. The man in this next clip, Base Webb, took things way too far in more ways than just one. Unbelievably, when he's refused further assistance from the judge, he decides to spit on her. Prior to his hearing, he also started a prison riot, assaulting officers.
There's no one ever tried this case or have any further proceedings where I have to see you for one further second. Set for the hearing next week.
Base Webb was charged with common assault as well as being found guilty of third-degree assault and sentenced to 15 years in prison for his prison riot incident, along with his initial charge for being in the courtroom in the first place, found guilty for 2 counts of attempted murder, and got an additional 37 years, a total of 52 years behind bars. That spitting did him no favors if you ask me. This next judge didn't have a lot of patience for the woman she was dealing with, and no wonder. As the judge tries to encourage her to take the courtroom oath, this Karen only keeps talking over every word until the judge loses her patience and slams her gavel down. She tells this Karen firmly that this isn't Burger King.
Thank you. Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I would like to call...
Ma'am, stop. I know you want to control this room, but this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions.
The defendant doesn't take the hint, though, and just keeps on talking. The judge is forced to use her gavel again, and she insists that she needs to take the oath and be respectful if she's going to be in court.
And stop. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Yes or no? Are you going to tell the truth? All right, I'll take that as silence. I understand her attorney is on here. Where is her attorney?
Mr. G. Becker.
Again, say anything again without telling me you're going to tell the truth, and I will hold you in contempt of court for 93 days. Contempt carries with it 93 days and or $7,500. You will not act disrespectful in this court. Do you understand, ma'am?
Some defendants, though, will come to court even when they're not welcome there.